Hey everybody, Shane here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 going for the full SSE achievement. This is to pick up 20 pieces of intel in co-op. Now there's going to be 3 different co-op missions and the collectibles are going to be shared between all 3 of them, so you can get some from each. However, if you do want this in a single mission, I'm going to recommend you do this on the mission low profile. The reason for that is this mission is going to have exactly 20 collectibles available, so you should be able to get this achievement in a single run, and none of them are going to have any special requirements. So make sure you hop in with a boosting partner or friend. You're going to start out by parachuting from the plane. This first one is going to be very missable as you're going to have to get it during the parachuting part. You are going to notice this central island in the middle of the map right here. Make sure you deploy aiming towards that island. There's going to be this white looking tower in the corner right here. Your goal is to get to the top of this tower, and you can only reach it by parachuting in. So if you accidentally miss it and land on the ground, you won't be able to climb back up this building. You have to make sure you land here from your deployment. As soon as you stick the landing, just make sure you look for the collectible. It's going to be right here in this corner. That should be the first of 20 we're going for. Now, if you do miss it, you can always restart the mission and try again. Thankfully, it's going to be right at the start. Once you have that, we're going to basically work on the other 19 available. So from the central island, which one is you want to make sure you go directly north. Here's going to be the location on the mini map. It's basically the upper side of the uppermost bridge. It's going to be this little bay in the river on your mini map, so it should be a straight swim from that tower. Make sure you look for this building right here. It's the one with the 2 staircases at the corner. Make sure you head up the right side staircase, and then you want to make sure you take this ladder.
What a thrill.
Once you get onto the roof, make sure you look next to this thing with these barrels, and the collectible is going to be right here in the form of this crate. If you are playing this in co-op, your boosting partner can also pick it up, but both of you have to pick it up, so make sure you take care of that if your friend also wants to work on the achievement. Once you have that, make sure you drop back down onto the street from this side, and make sure you head straight across to this building. This is going to be where Objective A is going to be, in case you remember from playing the actual mission. This is going to be the building with all of the laser mines, so make sure you are super duper careful when trying to get past this. Either crawl underneath them and then get around them to disarm them, or you can have one of the 2 players be a sacrificial lamb and try to blow them up by running into them. Nonetheless, once the building is going to be cleared of any dangerous explosives, make sure you make your way into the left side room and then grab this USB thumb drive right here on the corner of this table, which is going to be your next piece of intel. Once you have that, make sure you head back into the main hallway and then head in to the opposite room on the right side. Make sure you look in this right corner by the window, and then your next piece of intel is going to be right here on this desk in the form of a hard drive. Once you grab that one, we're going to look for the staircase. It's going to be right over here, so make sure you look for the exit, and there should be a staircase leading up to the 2nd floor. Once we're here, just make sure you head down the hallway. You want to look for the room with the vending machines, which is going to be right here. Again, make sure you watch out for the laser mines, so either crawl underneath them, disarm them, or have someone blow them up. Once you get to the vending machine side of the room, you are going to find the next collectible right here on this table, on this board game right here. Once you have that, make sure you are free to leave the building. So just make sure you fumble your way around and then make sure you look for the staircase. We're going to head back out onto the streets. And then once we're out here, we're going to go in this direction right here. Make sure you look for the truck, which is going to be the start of this bridge right here. And then there's going to be a little opening right to the right of it. And this is going to be the main body of water on the map. There's going to be the pier for reference. Once you notice that, we're going to go for a little swim. Make sure you swim straight across. So go diagonal. Once you get to the other side, you're going to punch it straight, and then you're going to notice this giant well right here. Make sure you look on inside. Then we're going to take another dip into the water, and the collectible is going to be right here on the left. So make sure you grab that, and then make sure you quickly surface before you drown, and then make sure you get back on to land. Once you are back, this is going to be the well for reference. You want to make sure you turn in this direction, so make sure you turn 180 degrees, and then we're going to head back to the water. Make sure you take a swim across right here. This is going in the direction of Objective B for reference. So once you surface, you're going to have the bridge on your left as a reference. Make sure you climb up this incline right here to get back to the main road. And then basically you want to make sure you watch out for enemies right here, as there's going to be some patrols out here. So either take them out or you could sneak past them if you want to play more stealthily. Doesn't really matter since we are focused on just the collectibles and not playing the actual game. So just make sure you try to thin out anything that can kill you. But basically, once the coast is clear, make sure you make your way into this courtyard right here. And then we have another ladder we need to climb to get up onto this roof.
What a thrill.
Once you're up here, make sure you turn to your left and then just make sure you jump across these neighboring roofs right here. And then you should notice the collectible right here. Make sure you grab the inconspicuous looking crate, and then that should be another one out of the way. Then it's going to be up and over the railing and then back out onto the street. Make sure you punch it straight across. This is going to be the building where Objective B is going to be located. Watch out for the enemies who are going to spring out to action, but you want to make sure you go through the big door into this living room area. Make sure you take out all the enemies here before they give you any trouble. And once the coast is clear, you're going to find the collectible right over here by this radio. Make sure you grab that. And then once you have that, we're going to go further around. Make sure you open up this door right here. This is going to take you to the back side of the building. Yet another ladder climb, so make sure you take that up.
With darkness and silence through the night.
Once you are up on the roof, what you want to do is make sure you look around this part right here. And then right over here in the shadows is going to be your next collectible, so make sure you grab that one. Then we're going to move on after that. You want to make sure you head in this direction, so it's going to be towards this tree right here. You want to make sure you go as straight as you can. We're basically heading in the direction of Objective C. We're going to keep going until we hit that body of water. That's going to be the main landmark of the map. So just make sure you try to hook around all the buildings you can, but as long as you keep C in front of you straight and true, you should be able to get there without getting lost. So just make sure you keep following this along, and then as soon as you see a bridge, you should be good for the body of water. There's going to be another pier here for reference, which you want to do is want to make sure you head to the central island that has the palm tree on it. You want to make sure you have that in front of you in this direction. There's going to be this dam right here, so make sure you look for it. It should be pretty obvious since there's a light shining in it, but basically make sure you swim towards the floodgate. Once you are at the entrance, you can take another dip right here, and then just make sure you just swim underneath the light, and then you're just going to keep trudging forward until you hit the bottom of this body of water. Then just make sure you keep struggling through this little tunnel right here, and the collectible should be buried right here on the left. Then we're going to quickly surface before we drown, so make sure you try to take care of that, especially if you're waiting for your co-op partner. But make sure you just get back to land, and then once you catch your breath, there's going to be that floodgate again for reference. We're going to head left now, so just make sure you follow the coastline until you get to this area with the rocks. There's going to be the bridge for reference, and then we're going to make our way back up the river right here. There should be a staircase that takes you back into town. Once you are here, we're going to take a left. We should be right in front of the Objective C building, which is going to be the communications center. There's the radio tower right there on the left as a reference. Make sure you be a little careful right here, as you're going to have the Juggernaut roaming around, but make sure you head towards the truck right here in the middle of the bridge. Inside the trailer is going to be another collectible right here in the form of this crate. Make sure you grab that, and then as always, make sure both players are watching their back in case that Juggernaut shows up to ruin the party. So hopefully you can either get out of dodge or take him out before he can give you any trouble. And then once the coast is clear, we're going to head towards the Objective C building. So back the way we came, and then just make sure you hang a left right here. It's probably going to be in your best interest to clear the building first, as you don't want the enemies to kill you while you're trying to grab the ton of collectibles in here. But make sure you head inside. Make sure you head out here to the kitchen, and then on the counter is going to be this hard drive. Make sure you grab that. Once you have that one, we're going to now head upstairs, so make sure you just head back down that main hallway, and then there should be the staircase right here. So just make sure you take these stairs up to the second floor, and then once you are here, make sure you hang a right, go into the right room, and then you're going to find the next intel in the form of this USB drive in its most appropriate place, which is going to be in this laptop computer. Then you're going to want to head to the opposite room right here on the left side, and make sure you grab this desk key on this table. You're going to need this to unlock a drawer, which is going to contain a collectible in a bit, so make sure you pick that up for now. This room also has a collectible of its own right here on this little nightstand, so make sure you grab that by the lamp. Make sure you pop open the door to get out onto the balcony right here. And then once you get that open, we're going to jump back out onto the street. Make sure you go over to the neighbor's house. And then once you are in here, you're going to look for the back door. And then once in here, you're going to grab this intel right here in this computer. So make sure you grab that. Once you have that, you're going to head into the main room, and there's going to be another one right here on this L-shaped desk. Make sure you grab that. And then once you have that one, we're going to then head up to the second floor of this building. So up the stairs right here by the door. Once you are here, make sure you look on this table, and then there's going to be another hard drive right here on this L-shaped desk. And then once we have that, we're going to be good to move on. Make sure you keep turning until you can jump out of this window. Once you are back on to the street right here, make sure you go to this house straight across the way. Open up the door, and then in here is going to be this desk. This is going to be what the key goes to, so make sure you use that key on the desk, and then inside is going to be another piece of intel. That's probably the more complicated one besides the parachute one. After grabbing that one, just make sure you head out the back door. Then we're going to get back onto the streets. Make sure you cross the street, and then you have this hotel-looking building right here. And then once you are here, make sure you do a little bit of a parkour. Make sure you climb up on this thing. Make sure you keep heading up until you get to the roof.
What a thrill.
Once you are on the roof, what you want to do is want to make sure you look to your right. You're going to have another one of those barrel things, and then right behind that is going to be your next piece of intel right here. And then we have one more to go. This one is going to be pretty far away. It's going to be on the north side of the map, so make sure you head in this direction. Make sure you look for that giant white tower in the background and keep heading in that direction. This is going to be heading north ways. So just make sure you keep going, cut through all of the buildings and stuff. Just make sure you keep the north direction in your compass, and you should be heading in the right spots. Once you get to the edge of town, the collectible is going to be located there. So make sure you don't go too far off into the desert. Make sure you stop once you don't see any more buildings. So just keep punching it in this direction right here. Just keep following this direction until you get north. You have to take a slight turn right here. There's going to be the desert. You should notice the refinery in the background right here. You're going to turn a little to the left right here. There's going to be this rock face, which is basically going to be the edge of town, separating it from the desert. But basically along here is going to be this building with the really long wall. Make sure you look alongside there, and there's going to be collectible number 20, which is going to be the last one we need for this achievement. Of course, do feel free to pick up any that you do see in the other two co-op missions if you want to, but once you have 20 regardless, you should be good for this achievement. 40 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.